Hey y'all, it's your girl Mac. Welcome to my podcast. Welcome to the channel. This is Mac Reviews. I'm doing a review of Life After Lockup. I believe it's season 3, episode 1. And I'm excited. I don't know. I'm kind of excited, but I'm kind of not. They didn't give us a break between Love After Lockup and this. Most of the couples that are going to be on, I'm not looking forward to seeing. So I'm going to do this review in order of most annoying to least annoying, and also least entertaining to most entertaining. But mostly I'm annoyed by most of the people that were on this episode, except Marcelino and Brittany and Stan and Lisa. Everybody else annoyed me. So yeah. So I'm gonna start with Brittany and Ray. They continue to be awkward as they were last season. So they go to a furniture store, sans masks. Nobody was wearing masks in public on this episode. None of the cast members were. The people in the stores were, the workers. But they go to a furniture store, Brittany and Ray. They need to buy a new headboard and a new bed. And I don't know, like, she says they broke it. And I'm like, did you really? Okay. She says they've been smashing a lot. Good for them. That's great. She's saying the same stuff that she's been saying. I want him to get a job so he can get an engagement ring. And she's laying out her timeline. We're going to get, that he wants him to get a job so he can buy her an engagement ring and they can get married and they can have kids. And I just continue to feel like she's being kind of just not aware or not concerned about Ray getting himself settled, like, getting into the groove of, having his own vehicle, getting used to paying bills, getting used to managing his money, getting himself settled. It's just about her, and it's like, I don't know how much she seems to care about him. He just seems to be a means to an end. Like, he's there to satisfy her, and it's just like, but what about him establishing his life, So, he reveals to her that he owes $143,000 in restitution. I don't know if... at first I was like, okay, did he inflate that number for shock value? But then he says in his confessional that he... the crimes he did were expensive, and breaking into the pharmacies and all that added up, and injury to people and things like that, which made I was like, who got injured? Because he sounded like he said they were doing it at night when the stores were closed, but like maybe the injury of like if they took all of certain medications, people couldn't get access to their medications. So that's a lot. And he said he hadn't told her before because he didn't want her to get upset. Now she's like, what? And she's concerned that she might have to take on those payments because she's been paying bills and taking care of him. And so this is probably going to make her, pump her brakes on getting married to him. And I hope it does, because she doesn't want to have to be responsible for that. She's right. It could really keep them from being able to live life together and enjoy themselves. So, yeah, I hope they get that worked out. This was awkward to watch. So, next most annoying is I'm going to talk about, hold on. Going to talk about Lacey and Shane. I'm so excited to see them. Can you tell? I wish they weren't on here. I can't stand these people. I mean, they weren't even the most annoying, but it was definitely Brittany and Ray. They were. I don't dislike Brittany and Ray as much as I dislike. Now, I don't dislike Shane, but they're both annoying at this point. I really didn't want to see Lacey's face again. I really didn't. So, you get a scene of them with their baby, with cute Summer Rain, pretty name. And it's immediately just into the problems. Lacey says that having a baby has made things more difficult between them. Shane says being married has been harder than prison. And at first I was like, I think that's hyperbolic. But I thought about it and I was like, no, it probably was easier for him to be in prison. So he says that Lacey wanted him to support her and be at home to help her with the baby, so he quit his job. And I don't really believe anything from these two. I guess they're making enough money from the show, and it's very possible they're doing porn together. He might have or he has an OnlyFans. You want me to believe you just quit your job to nothing? He's probably doing OnlyFans, or they're doing it together. I mean, she's a porn star. Why shouldn't he be one? So that's probably where the money's coming from, and they probably do cameos. So I don't believe that he just quit his job and they're struggling. That's what he may have quit the job, but he quit the job for a reason. So for their other streams of income. He says that he feels like after they had the baby that he went through postpartum depression as well. And I didn't know how I felt about hearing that, because I'm not saying that it's not possible that he went through depression or felt sad because of not getting sleep, and it's possible that Shane did not fully understand the reality of what it takes to care for a baby, an infant, and how difficult that is. So it is possible that he was depressed. However, I don't think, I'm not a mental health professional, but it's very possible that it's not the same as the type of depression that women go through. Just because women just gave birth, there's a lot going on in her body. So I didn't like that he tried to compare it, because I don't think it's probably the same, because there's probably different things going on in a man's body than what's going on in a woman's body, because she's the one who actually physically gave birth. But is it possible that he felt depressed just because of, the difficulty? Yeah, but I just think it's probably I just think they're probably both different. And Shane seems kind of simple, so I don't think he grasped that. And he did say he feels bad about saying that, so I guess he does realize. But anyways, Lacey says that he's been withdrawn, that after having, before he was talking a good game, and now it's like he's not stepping up as much to help her. And she says she feels like a single mom. And I don't understand, because if he quit his job, how can you feel like a single mom? Like, what is he doing all day? I don't understand. So the porn, I guess OnlyFans. But I mean, how long does that take? That's not no full-time job. When she says she's doing everything on her own, she's talking to her dad, and her dad seems very he seems rehearsed. He seems like he's, he had lines and he remembered them and he said them, because she was like, oh, I feel like I'm by myself. And then he's like, oh, he quit his job. What does he do all day? Go to the gym? And then he was like, does he have a girlfriend? Is he seeing somebody else? And I'm like, why is he just automatically saying that? Like, why would you jump to conclusions like that? So I feel like Lacey's dad was they ran his lines by him and he practiced them and he just blurted them all out. So Lacey, she says that she got pregnant for the first time at 17. And to those of us who have been watching the show, I wasn't surprised to hear that. But because of the kids that we've seen on the show, you're kind of like, wait a minute. Lacey's 30 plus. She's 30 or 31 years old, and she got pregnant at 17. She has if you do the math, we haven't seen a child right? That would, like, because that means she has a teenager. And I did hear recently, I heard a few weeks ago that Lacey does have a teenage son, and he did not want to be on the show. But that makes sense, right? If she got pregnant at 17 and she's 30, that kid's a, that's, let me see, 10, 13, 14 years old, definitely older than all the kids we've seen. So, yeah, 13, 14-year-old. And we have not seen him. Maybe either he didn't want to be on the show, or maybe the father didn't sign off if the father is involved. So, she said she didn't know what she was doing, but, she's learned how to be a mom. I'm not going to comment on her parenting. I don't know. She's probably doing the best she can, I guess. And I really don't like Lacey. So anyways, but she said she's starting to feel insecure because her and Shane are not having sex. He's turning her down. He's like, oh, he's tired and he's exhausted from thinking about bills and all the responsibilities. And I'm sitting there like, sir, what are you tired from? You don't have a job. And I know you're not tired from doing OnlyFans. Can't be that tired from doing porn unless, I don't know. Anyways, so he says that they're both having less sex because they're busy. And I'm like, you're busy with what, sir? What are you talking about? Anyways, and she's wondering if he's cheating. I also want to say how the whole thing of him quitting his job, I do think they're making money in other ways, because then we see a scene where he talks about how he got braces and he said it's $4,000, which is not surprising. We know braces are expensive, but like either he was able to pay, he said he's on a payment plan. So you're telling me you don't have a job, but you're able to get on a payment plan. In order to get on a payment plan, you're either, it's either a credit card that you're paying off, which means he'd have to have credit and would have had to apply and show that he has income, right? And get approved. Or, and then Lacey's pretending like she didn't know about it. Like, they're so fake, and I don't want to see them. Anyways, that's their scene. That's Lacey and Shane. I'm gonna really just recapping them. Not gonna be giving much opinions because I'm just not interested. I'm gonna be real stank about them. So next, let's talk about, oh God, this is the worst. Sean, I guess the new girlfriend, Sarah, whenever she comes along, Justin, Kelly, it's like a freaking trapezoid love rectangle. So he says, Sean is such a, he says that Destiny's called him a few times trying to get money, trying to give him the center stuff, and he took a couple calls, but he didn't like send her anything. He said he's done with her. He met this new girl, Sarah, who's, I guess, in Ohio, that he was talking to at the same time as he was talking to Destiny. He didn't tell either one of them, and he doesn't plan on telling. He says he wants to wait to sleep with the girl before he tells her, whatever. So, he meets Kelly at a restaurant, and he tells her that he quit his job and he's moving to Ohio. And I was like, okay, now I know there's no way he's making, I know he's making money from the show, but there's no way he's making enough money to quit his job. He's probably gonna get another job because it looked like he was a mechanic or something. Maybe it's not hard for him to find work, but that's pretty dumb. But apparently he had told her and his 16-year-old daughter that he wasn't going to mess with inmates anymore, and he straight up lied. It was just disgusting seeing that clip of him saying, I guess I put you guys on the back burner. This guy, he's like the new Michael. I can't stand him. So he tells Kelly about the new inmate and that he's moving and he quit his job, and she's shocked and he's smirking. He's proud of himself that he got with another inmate, and she says, are you pathetic? And I was like, yes, he is. And it's just, I don't know exactly what's going on with this man. I still don't fully know what's up with him, but he's sad. He can't, I don't know why he has a problem. He doesn't know how to have a relationship with a regular woman. Kelly, I remember I saw her in an interview after last season, and she said he's dated inmates in the past before Destiny. I don't know what's wrong with him. He said that he lied to this girl, Sarah, and told her he's 36 years old. He claims he's such a liar. He said he doesn't remember how many kids he told her she has, so we'll see. I mean, I cannot stand this guy. He is the person I didn't think I could like dislike anyone more than Lacey. But he's definitely the person that I dislike the most and who I do not want to see or watch on this season. And I partly want to skip over his scenes, but like I do actually want to see what happens. So, but I just, this guy is a grade A fool, and I just don't like him. And I really disliked him even more watching this scene, because then, Kelly's just really annoyed, and she gets choked up because she's like, he's like, oh, I don't know what you want from me, because he's saying, he comes and visits his kids once a month. Now, I do want to say, I don't think people knew, Kelly did not live in Las Vegas. Kelly lived in Arizona. So that's probably why he only sees them once a month. But, he couldn't move to Ohio, but he couldn't move to Arizona to be closer to his children. And so he thinks visiting them once a month and giving money is enough. This guy is disgusting. I don't know what happened to him in life. I don't know why. She was like, you're selfish. You're putting yourself before your kids. And he's like, yeah, it's okay to be a little selfish. I'm like, not when you have children. And he has the nerve to call her selfish because he's saying that she's making his life a living hell. And, oh, she's so jealous. She's just mad because he's not with her. And I'm like, sir, I don't know what delusional world you're living in, but you are not a prize. And I'm not trying to put anybody down. But men who have, I'm not going to get into a man that's actually worthwhile and valuable, but he ain't it. He ain't it. And he is lying to himself. And I don't know. I think he might be insecure or have low self-esteem. I don't know his heart. I could be wrong, but I say that because I think that for like him saying that made me think there's self-esteem there. There's a self-esteem or insecurity there, because it's like he has to tell himself that Kelly must still want him, and that's why she's reacting the way she is, so that he can feel good and feel like he's attractive or something. But really, like, when you think rationally, she's frustrated because you're not spending time with your kids. You're not putting the same energy into your kids, and you're doing some. You want your kids to meet some inmate, and you don't know if this person is dangerous. You don't know this person. That's why she's frustrated, and any sane person could see that. But his crazy behind is talking about she's jealous and she still wants to be with him, and she doesn't. Like, I cannot stand this guy. And I think I saw in the trailer that the girl is going to end up fussing him out, and I hope so. He needs therapy. I don't know what is wrong with this guy. He is so freaking annoying. He's an idiot. And I'm glad that she threw that water in his face. Should have done more. She's better than me, because, honey, I would have slapped him. I would have stomped on his toe. Might have kicked. Like, listen. How dare he? Oh, God, talking about she's making his life a living hell. I just... got me mad. Okay, now for the less annoying couples. Should have did them first. So Brittany and Marcelino, I don't know why they're on, and I'm not annoyed by them. I love Brittany and Marcelino. I'm so glad that we have like a normal, healthy couple, but like they really don't need to be on this season. They are dragging this paycheck out. I'm happy for them. They got a nice new house, the pool, and they both look good. Marcelino looks better now than when we first met him. And I think being a dad, I mean, he gained weight, he got a dad. But like, when I say he looks better, I mean, he looks happy, Like when we first met him, he was all stern and all that, and we all thought he was like off. But Marcelino is the MVP of this show. It's him and Lamar. They are the best men on this show, and not in comparison. Like, they do the right thing. Anyways, so, and maybe it's that he's a responsible father and husband that makes him look good. Just like, not that he looks good, like he's but like just what he's doing is the right thing. He's being a good guy. So anyways, Brittany is working on, she wants to open up she's calling it a sober living house, and I think is that where, like, I have to look that up. Is that where, like, people after they come out of treatment, like, is a place where they live? I think that's what it is. And I thought that was good. I was wondering where she got the money to do it. Maybe she's getting it from, I know she has a book on Amazon, and maybe her money from the show. She said her and Marcelino have invested $8,000, which I was like, how did she get Marcelino to agree to do that when they have 3 kids? Like, Marcelino's definitely concerned about that, and because he trusts her, but he doesn't trust other people. And I'm saying, like, have you met these people? Like, you want us to believe that you gave $8,000 and you didn't meet these individuals? Like, I don't think Marcelino is irresponsible like that. So I don't believe that he hasn't met these people. Brittany says that her and these other individuals, I don't know how she met these people, but she doesn't explain how she met them. But she says altogether they've put in $80K, and that they put it into a bank account, and the bank account is only in the name of one of the individuals, whose name is Robert. And one of the girls, her partners, calls her and says the money is not in the bank account. This storyline seems, I don't know how much I believe this. And because you're telling me somebody's going to call you up and just say the money's not there, and then you guys gave this guy your money and the account is in his name. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I anticipate Brittany and Marcelino, reaching for a storyline because they want this paycheck. So I get it, but I really don't feel like they should be on here. There's just no reason. So yeah, that was their segment. It was good to see a stable, happy couple. No mention of her mom. So, but I noticed looking at Brittany how much she looks like her mom now. This is the first, like, before I couldn't see it, but now I can. So lastly, I'm going to talk about Stan and Lisa, most interesting couple on this episode. We didn't see Deontay and Nicole, and we didn't see Puppy and Amber. I'm gonna be so annoyed this season. Like, half the couples I cannot stand, and it's not both of them. It's like one of the people involved that I can't stand. So Stan and Lisa, we see Stan and Lisa. I don't know how long it's been. He says it's been a few weeks, but part of me feels like it's probably been a few months. But Lisa still has this terrible hair, and I'm so confused because I'm like, why? What? First, like, why come he can't give her money to go buy a wig, like, or to go to a stylist to get her hair like a proper weave. Like, I don't understand. This man, I don't get it. So she also definitely looks like she's lost weight, and I hope that it's weight loss like in a healthy way, and it's not from doing drugs. So he says it's been a challenge with them, but he feels like the drama is behind them, and he feels like things are going well, I guess. I'm sorry, I'm trying to, like, before I say this, so Stan got a tattoo of Lisa's name on his behind, and we did not need to see it. I did not want to see that. I'm surprised. I don't know why he did that. But he seems tickled to have done that. They also had like a joint like confessional together, which I haven't seen on this show. I've only seen, well, no, I not with the couples. I know they did it with Lamar and Andrea's kids, Nyla and Tennyson. They did it with them, but that made sense. But like, I don't recall seeing them do that with the couples unless it was like a special or something. So that was a little new. Lisa says that Stan is cheap. She's asking him for money all the time, and they had like a little conversation where she's like, I'm going out with my friend, I need you to give me money. I need you to give me money. And she's saying she needs him to give her money, and he doesn't want to give it to her. Yeah, so they have this exchange where she's like, oh, I need money, and he's like, well, when I needed money, no, she was like, when you were young, didn't you use money all the time? He was like, no, I was working. Maybe, have you ever thought of doing that? And I was like, ooh, see, he's getting stank again. And I don't know how contrived this is, because I'm like, play your position. You know what this is, Stan. Stop playing. You're a sugar daddy. You're okay with doing that. She's like kind of acting entitled, telling him, oh, you need to give me. He gives her like $20, and then she's like, I need more. He's like 50, and she's like, no, I want the plastic. And I don't remember. I think he did end up giving her the credit card, and then he was like, don't max it out. And in her confessional, she's like, maybe I'll max it out, maybe I won't. I don't know. So then, he goes out with his friends, and he's talking to them and telling them what's going on, and he's saying how like she spends most of her time sleeping or texting or her phone, which we know she's talking to the girl that she likes, and he said that she touches the phone more than she touches him. So, and he says that like I guess they haven't been intimate much, which I'm like, that's probably why he got snippy with her, because it seems like when she sleeps with him, he's willing to give her money, and that's why I was a little surprised that he was being stingy again. But he's being stingy because she's not sleeping with him, and once again, they're not holding up their ends of the bargain. They have to understand that, they both have to do what each other wants to get what they want. So, she meets up with her friend. It's a friend from prison. I think she was her cellmate, and she says that she keeps it real with her and will tell her the truth, and she respects that. And she's telling her that she feels like Stan just wants her as a sex slave, which is true, but you also just want him for his money. The friend asks her, well, is he a trick? And she's like, oh, well, no, I'm not trying to use him just for his money. And I'm like, why are you lying? Like, this is your homegirl. Like, you can be honest with your friend. Just tell the truth. I mean, I guess because the cameras are there, but Stan knows it. She knows it. We all know it. So I don't really understand why she doesn't just tell the truth to her homegirl. But and then Stan, when he's with his friends are like, do you feel like, how do you think that you're just a sugar daddy or whatever? And then Stan is like, he's okay with that if that's the case. And that is the case, and he knows it, and that's why he said he's okay with it, because he went on a sugar baby, sugar daddy website. I don't know if his friends know that that's the type of site he went on, but then he says that he's in love with her. And I was like, what are you talking about? But then he was like, he's in love with her, and if he wasn't in love, he would just leave her. But because he's in love, and he seems to think, I don't know if he thinks she loves him. He's talking about all this crap, they have a magnetic connection. And I'm like, Stan, what are you talking about? Like, you just want this chick, to be intimate with. You don't love her. Like, I don't know why he was saying that. That's why I don't know why he got the tattoo. Like, I'm very confused as to why he did that. But anyways, so we finish with her talking to the girl. Her name is Renetta. And she's flirting with her or whatever. She says they've known each other for years. I guess not in prison. I thought the girl might have been from prison. And she tells her, but it doesn't sound like she is. She didn't say she was. But she says they've never actually done anything. They've just flirted. But she said she told the girl to come and pick her up at Stan's house. And I'm like, what? Girl, how that's going to go? What you talking about? And then she said, you know, I don't really care what Stan says. Like, I'm going to do things my way and do what I want. And, you know, if he doesn't like it, oh, well, I have options. And I'm kind of like, what, you're going to leave him? Can this girl Renetta give you money? But the other odd thing is, like, if he hasn't been giving her money and she's had to beg and she hasn't been sleeping with him, maybe she is ready to leave and get on to the next dude. I don't know if she has a dude on deck that can pay her bills. Can this girl Renetta pay her bills? Like, why doesn't she just look for a sugar mama? Since, you know, anyways, that was their segment. That was probably the only segment that I actually enjoyed watching. The rest of these people, other than Brittany and Marcelina, I always like seeing them with their kids, but everybody else annoyed me. I'm gonna be pretty stank throughout this season because most of these people I don't like. And then Puppy and Amber are coming in. I can't stand Amber. I don't want to see them. So yeah, but it was a good episode. This season it'll be decent. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, thanks for listening. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you're listening on YouTube. And if you're listening to the podcast, give me 4 or 5 stars. I appreciate it. And so thanks. See you next week, guys. Bye.